Ndebe anyị ekelekwanụ m unu. Asị m ka nkọ echiri ya zelu. Dịka o si dị, ọ bụ na nke a bụ ụbọchị izu gị na-esoro anyị, achọ ka mee ka ị mara na ihe a bụ Eastern News 24, ebe anyị si wetara unu ya bụ nnukwu ozi gbasara maka ihe na-eme na Eastern Region and the whole Nigeria. Dịka o si dị, o were fa wetara n'ụbọchị nke taa. Anyị achọkwa unu ga ya bụ ife, unu ga-esi ya unu akọba alụ wee drop all anyị kọmentị unu ife unu chelo. Let's go ahead because Biafra agitation is not about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or Simon Ekpa. Biafra agitation it's not about Nnamdi Kanu or Mazi Simon Ekpa. Egeya bife igesia ya kabaru drop your own comment if you change akwụkwọ gbasara maka ihe ndị a ịnụ. All right, over to you, sir.
When I talk about North, I'm not talking about the Christian North. I'm talking about the Islamic North. So why would they not want Peter B, a person like Peter B, to become the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? At a glance, or cursorily, you want to think that it's because Peter B is an Igbo man. Of course, while there may be some truth in that, the real truth is this: most of these core northerners thrive in the abnormality of the system that drives Nigeria. The truth is that they know that in a free and fair context, whether in economics, whether in politics, whether in virtually all walks of life, they stand at a disadvantage. Because before independence, the South has already been placed at a higher advantage in education. Today, most Northerners do not believe that the purpose of education is to have a better life. Perhaps to them the purpose of education is perhaps just to speak English, but the real purpose of the real way to power is by subverting the system that drives the country. Now, a person like Peter Obi, they will not want a person like Peter Obi to become the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for one top reason, one overriding reason, and the reason is this. When Peter Obi started using statements like you want to change Nigeria from consumption to production, first and foremost, before we even begin to talk about the North, statements like that are statements that will not go down well with the West, because the West will perpetually want Africa to be dependent. And to be dependent, you must be a consuming country. So when a country begins to think that it wants to change its attitude from a consuming nation to a production nation, that means for you to be a producing nation, you are thinking about being independent. Being independent means that you want to start using your own resources for your own production. For there to be production, there must be resources, there must be raw materials. And it is this raw materials that has continuously developed the West. So when an African country starts thinking about self-subsistence, it means they will start using their raw materials for themselves. That the West will never allow. From production, we start thinking about producing our own technology, producing our own weaponry, producing our own aeroplane, producing our own weapons, producing our own food, producing our own technology, producing our own mechanized farming and all of that. And before you know it, we'll have a sustainable economy that goes around and sustains everybody. Now, Peter Obi represents that person that will thwart a flawed system. I tell you the truth that the North is the most beneficiary of this failed system, because we are talking about somebody who becomes power, who comes into power, whether you are educated or not, you will be in the House of Assembly. Whether you have a PhD or is low class or nothing, just speak a few English, you will be in the House of Assembly, cutting away billions of naira for doing nothing. Trust me, I grew up in the North and I know what it is. Before I gained admission, I tried my JAMB 3 good times until I got admission into University of Ndigbo. and in the first batch list I scored 264. Then in registering my courses, I saw myself registering with people that had 179 in first batch list. That means in subsequent batches, batch 1, batch 2, batch 3, we might have people with 120. So that is the realism of our situation, and they fear that a person like Peter B will bring about a system that rewards hard work, and for there to be hard work there must be competition. And one thing the North never likes is competition. The North will never subject itself to any competition because they will fail. What type of competition will they do? Sports, they will fail. Academics, they will fail. If JAM is reading, if we take off cut-off marks, less educationally developed states, and let there be just one straight admission in all our universities, the South will occupy all the federal universities. Now, when people begin to pride themselves in nomenclatures that belittles their identity, I'm from a less educationally developed place, and therefore I can actually read and score maybe 150 in JAM because I'm from a less educationally developed place, I will still gain admission. Such people will not be wired to succeed. The reason why you find out the Igbos are more successful is because they've been bedeviled with so many instances of challenges. Trust me, people who are faced with daily challenges excel more in life, because as you surmount those challenges, you create many ways and many creative attitudes, and the more challenges you face, the more creativity you evolve. For me, I think in Nigeria the Igbos are the most creative. That is why they are more inventive in their approach to life. Trust me, if Nigeria becomes truly independent and with a mentality of self-sufficiency, I will tell you that the Igbos will produce their aeroplanes, they will produce their cars, they are already producing cars, they will produce virtually everything. Now, for fear of that in a country of true competition, the Igbos will overrun us with their invention and attitude to development. The North will never like that because it will shortchange them. If we truly make Nigeria where people with merit are the ones that take charge of Nigeria, definitely a lot of people will be shortchanged. Now, Nigeria is so funny that the people with the actual knowledge are not the ones that runs the country. When you watch our Senate, our House of Rep members, when they speak, when they talk, when they exhibit ideas, you begin to wonder if these are the people who are actually spending millions of naira to make laws and ideas for us. I'm not saying yours truly can say better, but of course, you know the way I speak and I talk a lot better than the idiots we have in our Senate. So it's so funny that the real idea or the real reason why these people are working very hard to see that they don't have an Igbo presidency goes beyond their negative sentiments against Igbo. It is purely that they want to sustain this system that enables them to eat while they don't work. It is actually a case of monkey they work, baboon they chop. And until we begin, like Kanayo said in his recent podcast with Nedu, he said that until we allow an Igbo man to become the president of Nigeria, then we will understand why Nigeria has been backward. That I totally agree, 100%. But the North will not allow a system that enables competition, because in a competitive
Ndị be anyị ekenekwanụ m unu dịka unu si wee na-esonyekwana anyị n'ihe anyị na-eme n'elu akwụkwọ na Eastern News 24. Anyị sikwa na Chukwuka abịa ma ya nọrọ nche niile n'ofu n'ofu dịka unu si wee na-esonyere anyị n'elu akwụkwọ. Dịka o si dị, unu anụgonu ka ya bụ ife si wee gbata wee kwụrụ, unu anụgonu ihe nwanne anyị nwoke kwuru n'elu akwụkwọ. Ka efe were ikwu gbasịta maka ya bụ ihe ndị a niile nụgasị niile nwanne anyị kwugasị gbasịta maka open grazing bill. Kabaruke drop your own comment on the comment section below. Thank you, and also stay tuned at Eastern News 24. Kemesiano Mundem.